So, a lot of people are thinking about being extracted, just having someone take them out of this place and have them saved, or at least being a family or someone who gets them. Now, there are a lot of different concepts. People watch the Taigetan and Cosmic Agency videos and want to be extracted by them or the Irma, and just one day imagine opening their eyes in a spaceship, waking up from the pod, and there they are having another life. Yay, away from Earth. Or people are here thinking about their soul family, and why is no good, benevolent ET coming to help them out? People think about their higher self or lower self and asking all kinds of questions for waking up, feeling better, finding answers, and still like looking for help and getting no answers or nothing. Nothing that would help them out, really. So we're looking at this case of being stuck here on Earth and having someone save us, change our lives, kind of. Now, if you're wondering why haven't you been taken, or if you didn't get any help, think about what kind of information are you transmitting out there. What is it that you're beaming into the galaxy to all the ETs, and is it actually worthy for them to look at you and consider stopping all of their plans, even if they're involved in the whole space opera and dealing with other ETs and fighting out different battles, or being involved politically in all kinds of diplomatic events, or actually dealing with their own family? And here they are, like dealing with all this stuff, and their spaceship gets a call. Okay, here's something on the radar, and there's a being crying for help because, oh, look, someone said something negative on Discord, and the person feels lonely and lost and doesn't have purpose yet on Earth and wants to get out. Like, when you look at yourself, do you think you're actually worthy of being taken from here? I mean, no one has it easy. No one. You look at life on Earth, and there are plenty of difficulties. I'm not saying that you're bad or not good enough or not worthy or anything. I have to look at myself and talk from my point of view. But I look at people, specifically those that want to be extracted, and I'm bringing this up because recently I've been reading The Free Body Problem, an interesting book. I haven't finished it yet, but there was this point where different countries with different ideologies are trying to reach out to the ETs. And each of them are sending messages to the ET group, and I still don't know who they are, but they're trying to communicate and like, what is it that you're gonna tell them? What is it that you want to tell them? And will it be worthy for them to come and get you or save you or help you or contact you at all? And if a lot of different groups will spread propaganda of, oh well, we've been taken over by the reptilians and they've been controlling the governments and tracking people and using chemtrails or whatever, we can tell stories of how bad it is. And it's like, yeah, well, there are plenty of war zones out there. Is it worth it for them to land? There will be people who will talk about all of themselves, about how difficult their life is, about how they're a black sheep of the family, how they feel there is something grand and special that they have to do, but life is very difficult and there's no one to talk to, no one who gets them. It's like, yeah, if you had a big status, if you had tons of problems on your shoulders, and you're dealing with companies and families and your own stuff, and there's someone on Discord saying that their life is difficult, are you going to pay attention? Most likely not. So, the way we have life here, and we look at reality of walking in a New York street and people being abused in the alley and no one paying attention. But take any part of the world. There are places where people are being abused, yelled at, and anyone who is around will most likely just look and say, thanks God that it's not me. So glad I'm not in that person's shoes. Whew. But there's so very few who will take action and actually do something about it. Tons of social experiments where, people are very passive and they're not taking action. So I'm looking at this like if we were contacted by the ET group, if it's someone you admire, maybe Lyrans, maybe Pleiadians, maybe the Irma, maybe Taigetans, there are plenty of amazing groups out there. And you want to get any kind of help. It's not necessarily them landing next to you and taking you from Earth, but just contacting you telepathically. What do you have to do to make it worthy of their time so that they would listen to you, so that they would actually pay attention? Because when I look at it, we deal with so many things in our lives that most of it's us not being able to deal with our own emotions and thoughts. And it's like, it's very simple, basic, but at the same time, it's hard. In that regard, we're not dealing with our own thoughts and emotions properly. We get egotistical, we react to the world, we start crying, we get angry, we get resentful. We are not communicating properly. How many of you have any kind of relationship with a person? It doesn't have to be necessarily romantic or very intimate, but any relationship you have that you actually care about, how well can you communicate and be authentic? Be yourself and tell the person exactly what you think. Not hold back, not think about how should I phrase this, but actually just open your mouth and say exactly what you feel. There are very few people who do that. Most of us are like, well, I'm kind, I don't want to hurt another person. And a lot of it is actually shielding. A lot of it is us having a fear of how will they react? Will they accept us? Will they judge us? Will we have to defend ourselves again? And we worry about someone else's opinion so much that we change who we are. And then because we're unable to be authentic, we are unable to be ourselves, because now as it builds up, we're feeling misunderstood, we're not being listened to, no one really pays attention. It kind of feels like we're now being isolated. And from then on, things just build up and up and up and up and up to the point where things that happen around us will trigger a reaction. And most people cannot tell the difference between their own thoughts and someone else's projection. So when it's an entity, when it is a malevolent being group projecting thoughts in your head, amplifying your feeling states, and now it's kind of like you're a walking time bomb. There might be a thing around it that will trigger you, that will make you explode emotionally, and now you're crying, you're feeling depressed, you're suicidal, you hate this world. You can handle that. You've been there so many times and you've handled it already, but here you are in it again. And you look at all of these ETs and wonder, why are they not helping you? Because they're too busy doing something more important. When you look around, how much time do you want to spend with 2 or 3-year-olds teaching them how to walk and talk and do simple things? Parents are kind of forced to do it, but if you were to do it willingly every single day, if someone cries, go fix it. Go find out whatever they want and deal with that and help them. Most people would go nuts because they are all about themselves. And we think like, why are these ETs not taking us? Why are they not helping us? Because they are dealing with their own stuff. And we, to them, look like we're just kids crying around because we can't deal with the stuff. We don't feel like it at the moment. And to be extracted, to get help, to get a communication from these ETs or your soul family, we need to get to the point where we can handle life. We can look around and see what is happening and acknowledge that, but not react to the world to the point where the world surroundings controls us. And it can call out any kind of reaction and make us part of it. We have to be very self-aware and able to be authentic, able to think for ourselves, able to pick sides and decide what is true to you. What do you follow? What do you believe in? Because there are so many belief systems, so many stories, and oh boy, barely none of them align at all. So you have to really pick out and look at what's important to you, what stands for your values. You have to be very clear about the values, the understanding of life, your belief system, what empowers you, and all that. When you can be in control of your own thoughts, and it's quite difficult. For most people, it is very difficult because they just give in. Trigger, a similar event from the past happens again, and oh, you've seen this story before, it happened once before, so we're expecting something. A lot of our expectations are not being met, and oh, we're being so disappointed, and oh, we hate the world for it. But how about just not expecting that? No, it's just like the basic knowledge, like if you want to do something, do it yourself, because no one else will care about that thing as much as you do. If you have a project, if you have your own company, if you have your own business, if you have something you care about, no employee will ever care about it as much as you, because it is your baby. No parent, no person will care about your kids as much as you. Now, people from surroundings will care about you or your parents as much as you. It's like you have to make yourself first. Put yourself first. Love yourself. To the point where you can empower yourself. Where the world and someone else's opinion, whatever they say, whatever they do not impact you as much. Like, sure, you're going to react. You will acknowledge. It's not like you have to become ignorant of it all. But don't let it control you. And when you have enough self-awareness, when you can differentiate what is it that you feel and what you think and what is actually being projected, when you can actually dismiss 99 of the projections and stay with the core of who you truly are, then, oh, then it is so easy to get in contact with these CTs because they are willing to help those that are actually working for it. But if it's just someone crying, asking for help, but not wanting to change at all, they don't want to get involved. For them, it's no use. So we have to work at least to some level to get help, because if we're going to keep on crying and doing nothing, we're going to be sticking in this place. So, yeah, every thought you have, every feeling is actually being projected out there to the other ETs. Because consciousness, it is like a channel of information that can be connected to at any time. And there are a bunch of beings who can meet you as equal, but when you're not doing so good in life, and you're not taking care of yourself, you really lower yourself to the point where they can't even look for you. There's so much noise and crowd that there's no use. No use to connect to you because all you hear is someone else's voices, someone else's thoughts, someone else's negativity. Whatever other thought you might get that might be from ET willing to help you, you will not feel it, see it, hear it. It will not come to your thoughts because it will be someone else's words that you've heard that you care about now more than your own. And if you think that everything that you do and say and think is actually being recorded, the Akashic records, the consciousness, all it is, all it was, all time, all space, all big words, yeah, whatever. But it's like every single thing in your life is being recorded and transmuted out there. And beings can pick up the signal. It's like you're being watched. Yeah, you're on radars. Is it time now and is it worthy to work with you? What is it that you want to tell them? That your life is a mess? That you're a victim? That you have a hard time dealing with a narcissist? That you can't deal with your own emotions? That you can't tell the difference between someone else's projected thoughts rather than your own? Or can you actually deal with majority of that stuff and say, hey, I'm able to handle myself quite well. How can I help you? And when you turn that side, when you're the one offering help to the ETs but not asking for one, not to be saved, not to say, I'm a victim, please take me, I hate this world, but it's actually you just having a fight with your mom and can handle a conversation, can be authentic enough, but you hate this world now because you didn't express yourself and nobody cared because you didn't talk. How about we just step up a little bit? So if everything is being recorded and then anyone else out there is picking up, what kind of information are you projecting about yourself and humanity? Are you making yourself kind of worthy to look at? Like this is a person we want to take and help and actually work with, or is it like, oh, look at this mess. We're in the middle of war right now. We have tons of diplomatic meetings to attend to, and here's a kiddo crying, asking for help. Kind of don't have time for that. As much as I want to help, not really. So, just like you prioritizing life and how things are important to you, if you want to get help, if you want to communicate to the ETs, at least step up a little bit. Easy for me to talk to. I deal with tons of challenges every single day, like everyone else is. But it's like just trying to master yourself. Put yourself first, not others, not trying to fix the world, not trying to change everything. Change yourself. It's like the most simplest thing, right? How can we be in control of our thoughts? How can we change the usual reaction we have? Oh, there was some fight, some bickering, something wasn't said, and now you are closing up, or maybe you exploded. How about you try to handle yourself differently? Change the outcome. Oh, you had a fight, and now you two are not talking, and you're gonna put on the ego hat and, oh, it's just principles. They have to get me, and silent treatment. That's it. Like, no, no, you're not gonna get anywhere with that. So whatever you pick in life, look at how were you dealing with things up until now, and how well did it serve you? How well did your values hold up? How well did your principles and following them help you out? Or can you actually change yourself, change your actions and see a different outcome? And oh, look, you actually lowered yourself to someone else's level and were actually able to communicate. And look, they listened to what you had to say. Now, because you have expressed yourself properly, they understand you and don't necessarily agree with you, but now they get you and they see where you're coming from and they're talking to you differently. So a lot can change, but it has to start with us. And if you want ETs to come and help you, to contact you, to extract you, at least do something. It is the same as saying, if you want to win a lottery, at least buy a ticket. Because if you're crying about how you want to manifest $1 million and not doing anything, but just thinking, nothing's going to happen. You have to take action at some point. So, what is it that you will do today or in upcoming days in your life that will make your life better? What can you do to yourself to have these ETs or your soul family actually reach out to you and help you out? All the answers are within you, but you have to take action. So that's my little video. Hope you're doing fine. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.